Hello, class. Today I'm not here, and so y'all will be reviewing how to order numbers using rational numbers. So for this first example, we have a list of ice cream ounces listed below, and we need to list these ounces from greatest to least. So I always start with annotating, right? So we've got here greatest to least. So the greatest value are going to be your positive rational numbers, and the least will be your negative. So I always circle my negative numbers, and here I've got only 1. We've got negative 0 and 8/10. So this number line here below is to help you know where each number is, and it's a good practice on making sure you know how to locate your numbers. So let's see what each of these little tick marks is counting by. So we start at 0 and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So since we have 10 hops, we know that each one will be represented 1 out of 10. Remember, 1 out of 10 is 1/10. So it's also counted by 0 and 1/10. Here is the halfway mark. So we know this to be 0 and a half, or 0 and 5/10, and so on and so forth. So for here, this first example, we have 0 and 8/10 negative. So if we were to count this, remember that the negative and positive, the absolute value of them are going to be, the absolute value of opposite numbers are going to be the same. So if this is 0.1, to the left of it will be negative 0.1. If this is 0 and 5/10, this will be negative 5/10. So this is 6, 7, 8. All right, V for vanilla. For the next one we have is lime. Lime is 1 and a little over that. That's 1.5. This is 1.4 and 1.39. If I were to extend this and put a placeholder, I've got 1 and 40/100. So 1.39 will be a little bit before that. And that is lime. Next is berry. We've got a fraction here. We can either do two ways. We can either simplify, or we can divide to find decimal. Now I'm going to show you both ways. I know that they're both even numbers, so they're both divisible by 2, giving me 1/2, which I know to be 0 and 5/10. If I didn't know how to simplify, I could also divide it out. Numerator goes in the house, denominator goes outside the house. Man on horse. 4 does not go into 2. So we add a decimal and a 0 and bring your decimal up. 4 goes into 20. Let's count our multiples of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got also 5/10, which is right here. We'll label it BE. Then we've got banana. Banana, we know, is an improper fraction. That means that it is going to be greater than 1. So let's figure this out. 5 divided by 3. 3 goes into 5 once. Add a decimal and a 0. Bring your decimal up. Bring your 0 down. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bring down another 0. We got 20 again, 6. Goes in there 6 times, and we see that it is repeating. So we know it's going to be a little over 1.5 and a little over 1.6, but less than 1.7. So we got to order it from greatest to least, which we know this is greatest to least, and we're going to go in that order. So we've got banana, 5/3. Then we have lime. Then we have berry. And then we have vanilla. Make sure you're following along, please, and write out everything that I'm writing on your paper. Okay, moving on to the next question. We've got a list of gummy bear ounces, and they're listed below. So we're going to do the same thing. They didn't specify how to order this, so let's say we're going to go in ascending order. Remember, ascending is from least to greatest. You're going up. So I'm going to, again, circle my negative number. And I know that's going to be my first one. Because that's my only negative number. So again, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I know each mark is worth 0.10. Or 1 and 1/10. So if this is negative half, 1 over will be negative 0 and 6/10 blue. Next one, I've got red gummy bear for 1 and 4/10. This is 1.5. So 1 below will be 1 and 4/10 red. Green is my benchmark fraction. I should know off the bat that it's 25/100. If I don't, I can divide it out. Four goes into 10 twice. With the remainder of 2, bring down another 0. 4 goes into 25 times. Perfectly. So 25/100 is going to be halfway between half and for yellow, I've got, I'll do orange for yellow, 3/2, which I know is an improper fraction. I can subtract 2 over 2, which I know is 1 whole, and I get 1/2. So 3/2 is equivalent to 1 and 1/2, which I know is to be right here. Remember, we're going ascending order. Oops, I don't know what I just did. Okay, present. So we're doing ascending order. So we're going from least to greatest. So after blue comes green. After green comes red. And after red comes yellow. Remember to keep your answer as original. The original rational numbers that's listed up at the top. All right, this next one we've got Danae, Schneider, Isaiah, and Samia. Each bought cookies. The chart shows the weight of the cookie each person bought. Which list shows the names in order from least to greatest, which is my keyword here. So I've got least to greatest. Now no one can buy negative weight, right? So we know that all these numbers are positive. I'm going to extend each one and I'm going to label it. 1/4 I know is to be 25/100ths and I've got 5 whole. This one is an improper fraction, so I know it's going to be greater as well as this. I'm going to solve for both. Let's do 43 divided by 8. 8 goes into 4 0 times. 8 goes into 43 5 times, leaving 3/8. So I know I could write this as a mixed number. 5 and 3/8. If I know my benchmark fraction 3, I know it's to be 320 or 375 thousandths, but we're going to solve it out. 3 divided by 8, or I can just extend it and raise it up and drop it down. But I'll just do it off to this side. 8 does not go into 3. Add a decimal. 0. 8 goes into 33 times. With a remainder of 6, bring down another 0. 8 goes into 67 times. We have 40. 8 goes into 45 times. Perfectly. And we've got 5 whole. Okay, so we know that the smallest so far is Isaiah, between Isaiah and Danae. So this one's wrong. So this next one we've got Samia. Do it off here. 4 goes into 2, 0. 4 goes into 22, 5 times. And I got 5 and 2/4, which I know is 5 1/2. But let's just continue. 4 goes into 25 times again, perfectly. So I have 5 1/2. Remember, each place value, I can add a 0. So the smallest is Isaiah. Then comes, I have 3/10, 6/10, 5/10. Schneider. So now after that, we need to figure out which one is the next greater, which we have 5. Samia. And Danae is larger. So we know this is the correct answer. Isaiah, Schneider, Samia, and Danae. Remember, you guys can always pause the video in case I'm going too fast for y'all. Okay, the next one. I want you to pause the video and try to do this on your own. All right, let's check our work. We have a list of Sour Patches by the weight, and we got to list them from greatest to least. Also known as descending order. So I'm going to circle my negative integers again. And it looks like we're counting the same way. Each one worth 1/10. This one I know is to be orange. Because it's negative 5/10. And blue is 6/10, 7/10, 8/10 right here. So I know blue or negative 8/10 will be the smallest one. Now I gotta find out where 2 and 21/100 lies. I've got 2 whole, got 2.5, so 2 and 1/10, 2 and 2/10, and 2 and 3/10. Remember, I can put a placeholder, so I know this is 2 and 20/100. Oh, and so 2 and 21 will be a little over. That is green. Purple. I have an improper fraction of 4/3. I can simplify this by dividing or finding the equivalent decimal form. 3 goes into 4 once. Add a decimal and a 0. Bring your decimal up. 3 goes into 10 3 times. Add another 0. 3 goes into 10 3 times again. It seems like we're repeating. So I know this is 1.5, 1 and 1/10, 2/10, and 1 and 3/10, 1 and 4/10. So I know it'll be right there in the middle. And this is purple. Remember, we're going from greatest to least. So we're going to go from right to left. So we've got our green one, 2 and 21/100. Then we've got our purple, 4/3. Remember to keep it in the original form. And then we've got orange, negative 5/10, and then negative 8/10. Basically, remember, to convert fractions to decimal, we're going to divide it, correct? Okay, this one, I want you to do it on your own. Okay, so now let's go over it. We've got that the listed below are cupcakes by flavor. The chart shows the weight of each cupcake. Which list shows the cupcakes in order from greatest to least? So we've got greatest to least. Again, it's a descending order. We're going to extend each of the chart. So I've got 2.5. 2 and 1/4 is to be 2 and 25/100. And then they're both improper, so I'm going to divide it out. 13 divided by 5 goes into 13 twice with 3 left over. So I can say that it's equivalent to 2 and 3/5. Then I can keep going. Add a decimal and a 0, bring your decimal up, bring your 0 down. 5, it goes into 36 times. So I have 2 and 6/10. 19/8. I'm going to divide this out. Remember, the numerator, top number, goes in the house. 8 goes into 19 twice. Remainder of 3. Okay, from the previous question, I know that 3/8 it as a decimal, but I will continue it as practice. Bring your decimal up, bring your 0 down. 8 goes into 33 times. 6 is my remainder. Keep going. 8 goes into 67 times. There's another remainder of 4. Keep going. 8 goes into 45 times. Perfectly. Now, when it comes to decimal, how do you know if you gotta how do you know if you gotta just extend it or stop? So I like to always give myself 3 decimal point places. 3 places after the decimal point. So I want to always find it to the thousands place. However, if you have another rational numbers that repeat these 3, 7, 5 afterwards, then I'd highly encourage you to do another place value to the 10,000s. So now I'm going to make sure they're all aligned. So I'm going to add my zeros where I need to. And then I'm going to find the greatest value. They all have 2 whole numbers. So I'm going to look at the next place, the tens place. 5 tenths, 6 tenths, 2 tenths, 3 tenths. So the greatest one is going to be chocolate. And my smallest one's going to be berry. Got 2 berries at the end. So this is wrong. So now I gotta figure out which one's the second greatest or the third great, or I'm sorry, yeah, the second most least or the third most least. So after chocolate, then comes strawberry, and then banana. So this last choice is your answer. Okay, this one is for you to do on your own. We've got the weight of 5 cats right here below, and they're shown in pounds. And we need to list the numbers in descending order. I'd like you to convert all to decimal places, make a table, and I'd like you to plot them in this number line. Make sure you guys first figure out what each of these little marks are counting by. Okay? And I'm not going to go over this actually, so you are on your own for this question. Good luck. After you're done with this, please give this to the substitute. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.